What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on Gran Turismo 4 for another car story, and we are here today in a very special car. You might recognize this as a Ford GT. Of course, it's kind of the bring back of the Ford GT. I was gonna say the second gen, but it's kind of referred to as the first gen. Um, but it's not, and so let's talk about that in a second. Let's do a launch and get going. Man, what an incredible sounding car. It sounds incredible in real life, sounds incredible on this game, but if you're very trained eye and you are a keen inspector of such things, you will realize that this is not a Ford GT. The biggest dead giveaway is the headlights. Check out those headlights. That's right. There's no 100 in the headlights because this is the Ford GT concept car from 2002. I personally love this car. This car made an appearance on the Ford racing games, much like the Ford Ka from last week, because we're apparently going way too fast there. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. But just like the Ford Ka of last week, kind of a new edge styled car. There you can see the little better when we're going down the straight in some sunlight. This car was kind of the concept, the show car for the various auto, galleries, whatever, car shows of the early 2000s. This car was displayed most prominently in about 2002. And obviously they were deciding to bring back the GT40. I think technically when this car was a concept, they were still planning on calling it the GT40, but they like sold the license or something for the name GT40 or something along those lines to a third-party manufacturer. I don't remember the whole story, but they ended up calling it the Ford GT, and it did end up being 40 inches tall like the original anyway, so that was probably kind of a good thing, but apparently it's not that high speed of a circuit, even though this is high-speed ring. But yeah, so a very special car. Obviously, I love the Ford GT. It's kind of one of those, if I win the lotto, dream car kind of things. But you can tell there are little differences just with the rear and the exhaust profiling and the nose shape and all these other things besides just the headlights that signify that this is a concept car, not one of the production cars from 2005 and 2006. So a very special car, a very pretty car, obviously a huge part of American racing history, Ford's history. Naturally, and so they kind of brought it back. The idea was, again, this is a 2002 concept, but the idea was to bring it back for 2003 as kind of a celebration of the 100th anniversary of Ford, because the GT40 was arguably the most important and most influential Ford that was made in the first 100 years of the company. But it ended up hitting production in the United States until 2005, 2006. So I think all of them were 2005, 2006, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is kind of where it started. And again, this has appeared in a couple of different racing games. I'm sure it's appeared in some other stuff than what I'm thinking of, but definitely appeared in Ford Racing. Maybe just two, I'm trying to think, because, let's not enter the pits, or let's enter the pits, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. But yeah, this car definitely was in Ford Racing 2. I can't remember if in Ford Racing 3 the production car was out or not, but okay, I guess we're just making a pit stop here. But yeah, you can see very clearly there the 100 that's famous in the headlights of the GT, the Ford GT, is not present in this car. So that was a design change that was incorporated later, probably because they weren't sure exactly if they were going to use this car for production or not. And so the whole idea of 2003 being the 100th anniversary of Ford didn't hit this car until after the fact. So I guess our guys are walking back in the pits there because you can't make pit stops, I guess. I don't know. Never made a pit stop in this game before just then, so whatever. So yeah, pretty incredible car, pretty special car, a very fun car, a very, again, consequential car in terms of the United States and Ford Racing and everything that this stands for. Obviously, post 9/11, the thought of an American kind of high-level performance cars, I just am incapable of driving this apparently on the road, but that's fine. The thought of an American kind of supercar of sorts post 9/11 was a really interesting thought process and a really consequential idea. So God, I am just driving like awfully today. Good thing this is car stories and not driving tutorials. But yeah, so just a very, very special car, and definitely a notable car, and not just the history of the United States and of Ford, but of racing and cars as a whole. And obviously everything it stood for in the 1960s, the original GT40 with going to Le Mans, winning Le Mans several years in a row, is all kind of symbolized in this car. So yeah, pretty special piece, very unique car, very notable car, and definitely something that, if just for sound alone, deserves a lot of love. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you drop that like, sub down below if you're new. Don't want you to miss anything from Gran Turismo 4, iRacing, Camaro content, track day content, other racing games, anything else I may do. I appreciate you all so very much. But that is going to be it from me today. Until next time, as always, bye.